Hey everyone, Shakras from LolKing here to introduce and break down the new jungle changes that will be live shortly for Preseason 2017. Let's start with the changes to jungle camps. The red Brambleback and the blue Sentinel are now solo camps. Gromp is essentially the same, but instead of poisoning you, he now enrages at the beginning of a fight. The Raptor camp has increased in numbers and now features a grand total of 6 Raptors who will pack a punch if you don't take them down quick enough. Finally, the Krugs camp now split into progressively smaller Krugs as you kill them, kind of like chopping off Hydra heads. In total there are 10 Krugs to kill, but they're progressively easier to kill as you go. Oh, and the Merc Wolves, of course, those are pretty much the same. So spawn timers are now slightly different across the board. The initial spawn time for most camps is now between the 1:35 and the 1:38 minute mark, except for the Krugs and the Gromp buff that will only spawn at 1 minute 50 seconds. This is essentially to limit the level 1 camp strats for bot lane. Camps now take more time to respawn, and the timer is now up from 100 seconds to 150 seconds, except for red and blue that will still spawn every 5 minutes. Moving on, it's important to note that the smite buffs or smite rewards are now gone, and replacing them will be the new jungle plants. Now, according to Riot, smite buffs generally did good work and was a system that was working well. The complexity cost of the system made adding new content harder, and with the addition of more map objectives, a hard decision had to be made to remove a system they liked in exchange for something less complex. Most of the jungle changes attempt to recapture some of the decision making that was lost with this change. Before we move on, it's important to know that now all smites on camps work similarly to the old red smite buff. Every time you smite a camp, you will gain 100 health plus 10% of your maximum health. Anyways, on to plants. There are 3 types of plants that spawn in the jungle: Blast Cones, Scryer's Bloom, and Honeyfruit. Blast Cones are very similar to Zig's satchels. Upon attacking them, anyone inside the blast radius will be knocked back. This allows you to go over walls and escape a chasing opponent, for example. They spawn inside the jungle quadrants, and there are 2 per quadrant, so 8 in total. Their spawns are no longer semi-random, don't worry. They spawn in 8 fixed spawn points now. 4 of the spawns are the gank blast cones, and they allow you to get into the epic monster pits and into the side lane river brushes. They become available for the first time around 2 minutes and 20 seconds. The other 4 are the deep blast cones, and their goal is mainly to help you maneuver around the jungle to optimize travel. You probably won't use these so much early game, but they might be impactful in late game teamfights. They become available to use for the first time around 1 minute 30 seconds, and the respawn timers for both types of blast cones seem to be fixed at 6 minutes. Scryer's Bloom is the new vision tool and the replacement for the Raptor buff. They work similarly to a hawk shot that will reveal champions, wards, and jungle monsters for a brief amount of time. You can position yourself behind the plant to decide which area you want to scout. Scryer's Bloom spawn close to jungle entrances, also known as ramps. Only 1 spawn per quadrant is possible, but there are 2 available spawn places per quadrant. They become available between the 3 minute and the 3 minute and 30 seconds mark. Currently, the respawn time ranges between 4 and 6 minutes. Finally, we have the Honeyfruit. The Honeyfruit drops several healing fruit on the ground that will restore a mixture of flat, scaling with champion level, and percentage missing health and mana. The first spawn for the Honeyfruit is much later, with the spawn being between 4:30 and 5 minutes. After the first spawn, there will be 2 Honeyfruit per river side, 2 on bot side river and 2 on top side river. But they'll always be somewhat far apart from each other, as each riverside has 2 groupings and only 1 spawns per grouping at a time. Currently, the respawn time ranges between 4.5 and 6.5 minutes. Finally, it's important to note that all plants have a life cycle. They initially appear as a seedling that takes 60 seconds to grow into a usable plant, making it easier to notice and play around that spawn. Once destroyed, plants will also leave a corpse for 30 seconds, similarly to ward debris. Your team will only have information on plants if they have been seen, so you want to scout them. If you get vision of a plant during its lifetime, it will be visible to you in its last known state, even when in Fog of War. If an opponent destroys it, the view will only update after you scout that area again, or after 3 minutes. If you get vision of a seedling, your view of the plant will get updates when it fully grows, even if it's in Fog of War. If you get vision of a plant corpse, it will also update in accurate time and disappear from the map when the corpse disappears. That's pretty much it for all the jungle changes that are coming in with Preseason 2017. For more coverage, be sure to check out our website, where we have covered all the assassin reworks, itemization, and mastery changes. See you next time.